the problem
I
is
just don't like that VideoTube is homophobic.
Yeah.
VideoTube's homophobic. Send tweet.
No. The creator's trans.
Oh shit, that's right. There's like a trans flag in the corner of VideoTube.
Oh yeah, there is, huh? Hold on, let me pull up VideoTube.
We've already had this conversation.
There it is, everybody. There's the trans flag on VideoTube.
Or you can be.
That's right. Confirmed. VideoTube is homophobic.
No. Damn it.
VideoTube is an incredibly amazing program that somebody just made for free.
Yeah. And like with VideoTube, you can choose gray as the background. You can't do that with OBS. So I tried to put a custom background, and for some reason that just kills Misha. Like he just entirely disappears. So
apparently, some people have said that it's only gray in VideoTube, but it's actually transparent in OBS.
Is it? Let me try.
Somebody was saying that because I was watching a tutorial.
Are you transparent?
So if I switch it to gray. No, I can see that.
Yeah, it's something like you have to hide interface. No,
and then if I hit custom, he just dies.
Goodbye.
Image mode smooth, sharp. Hit gray and then like move your mouse off of it. No, it changes mine a little bit, but not a lot.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
It's like
weird.
Like yellowy.
All right. Well, back to green.
Back to being a basic bitch.
What else is new?
Ruby.
Yeah.
Ruby.
I hate to say this, but I just had a thought, and we should do it.
What's your thought?
I need pride versions of our stand-ins.
Of the ones that
I don't know. I don't know if we use those enough.
No.
No.
We need pride versions of our what?
Our stand-ins.
Oh, I said like our stand-ins.
Oh, Broombie and Bucket Solus. I know. I think Broombie's homophobic. I just have a feeling.
Self-report.
They're too busy being a cult leader. If
really
Broombie is like nega Ruby, then Broombie's homophobic. Well, I wouldn't know. I've never met Broombie. It's just a feeling.
Just getting those vibes.
There's a feeling in the force.
You guys have met Broombie, so I don't know, man.
Have we
met gay bandana?
Yeah, Broombie is around when I'm not, so you guys are in the same room as Broombie.
Oh, they're pretty quiet.
Okay, typing in gay bandana gets you a lot of pictures of sexy men, but not very many bandanas.
I love that for you, honestly.
I just want the bandana. Okay.
Damn.
Said phrases you've only heard once.
Yeah, no shit,
just
right?
want the bandana.
I just won't. It's the one time Misha doesn't want to see the sexy men.
Right? Gay pride collar?
I was okay. I got my chickpeas today, by the way. They showed up on my doorstep. So those are snackables. Snacking.
Heck yeah.
Snacking on the Good Bean TM brand crunchy chickpeas and sea salt. I don't know why, but they're addicting. It's very like they taste a lot like soybeans. They're good.
Heck yeah.
If you like that stuff.
I don't know if I do actually.
I thought one of my tires was supposed to show up today too, and it has not showed up.
Damn.
On the way, shipped via FedEx. So definitely both of these could show up today. Actually.
Did you just call it FedEx?
I did.
Why?
You know, I just do this thing where I butcher words, pronunciations just for fun. That is weird. Why does Walmart still think I'm a Walmart associate?
Probably because it's still in the tax quarter.
No. I haven't worked for Walmart for like 5 years.
Just don't ask. Just ride those benefits.
Well, no, there was a thing where it was like,
should I have a Pride fedora? Oh, it's not transparent. No Pride fedora. Sorry, what were you saying, Solis?
No, I swear when I was trying to check out, it said something like, do you want to use your Walmart discount? And I was like, I mean, if I have access to that.
Yeah, right? I mean, if you're going to let me.
I mean, if you want my account. That's what I'm trying to find right now. I'm trying to find if I actually do have this discount. How fucking cool would that be? I'm not going to say anything out loud. No.
Cute, but I don't know if it's like transparent. It's not letting me click on them.
You're transparent.
Whoa. Save image as. It's a WebP file. I'm going to cry. Alright, you know what? I'll just be basic bitch. We gotta start the episode.
Walmart.com has registries.
Registries for what?
I don't know. This seems sketchy. I think that's for like if you want to do like a wedding or like baby shower and stuff like that. But when
At a
you hear
Walmart?
registries, yeah, you can do that, and then you can give that out to people. So people, instead of buying you random shit, just go and get the stuff that you would like.
Oh.
Like as a gift.
Okay, like a gift register. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I thought you meant people were having baby showers and weddings in Walmarts. I apologize for my...
That's funny. Wait, okay. This episode brought to you by Kink at Pride.
Wait, I want to talk about the
I know.
because
I feel like really bad about introing the main topic of this episode until like over halfway through. So we're getting it in early this time, motherfuckers.
Now my ADHD is like, now I don't even know what to talk about Kink and Pride.
Well, that's fun.
So look at this Twitter thread, guys.
Yeah, I'm clicking on that now so I can look at it. It's what it says. At long last, by popular demand, the Conservative Furry Folder Part 2 Deluxe. What does this? I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna look now.
It's kind of crazy from the little bit I looked at. But yeah, hello everybody. While Solace reads that, welcome to Bark Bark Meow. I'm Misha. To my left, my left is Solace.
Bark.
To my right is Ruby.
Boo.
And we are
Boo.
It's Pride Month, so we're gonna do some Pride episodes. This is one of them, but we're gonna start a little off the rails because Ruby posted this thread that I'm sure I'll put on the screen. And yeah, it's the Conservative Furry Folder Part 2 Deluxe, apparently.
Oh boy.
And it starts with the sticker that says really F slur that I'm sure I'll censor.
I'm rolling on the first I'm rolling on the first the first post. Dude, and it's already a banger. I might just I wasn't gonna stream tonight, but like I could just stream this as content for the night.
You really should, yeah.
I should just laugh at the fails of this and give Pussy Dragon. How's it at Pussy?
Oh my god. Name? Pussy Dragon. That's Pussy crazy.
Drago.
That's
Dragon
like, dude,
is the
there's this like
user.
There's this like I think it's a lotion brand or something called like L'Oreal Poussey or something like that I keep getting ads for. And I got one of those ads on TikTok and all the comments were like, I love having Poussey on my face. And it's like, I love rubbing Poussey all over. And it was so fucking funny.
God damn it.
Like, guys, holy shit. Yeah.
Oh my god, one of the next images in that first post is the whites only moms and tots. Are you fucking kidding me? You want to bring dude? What dystopian? Fucking
dystopian.
Dystopian.
That's the word of the day, y'all.
It's gonna be a day. How the fuck are we back to like bitches trying to segregate again? How are we back here?
There's actually a very interesting reason for that, but
I don't want to hear it. I want to beat him with the bat, though.
No. It's actually like a lot of genuine like political discourse that leads to this type of thing, and a lot of it has to do with how we're in a renaissance of replacing bad systems with good ones. Mm-hmm. But in also doing that, we forget to replace the systems for the people that we're like technically being the oppressors, because it gets extremely complicated, but it's actually super fascinating. I'll send you guys a video about it.
Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. It is very interesting because one of the biggest things is it's the white replacement theory. It's the fact that there's a lot of people that are being told that white people are being told that you're being replaced. You are going to be the minority, and now you're the ones that are going to suffer. And instead of doing any research and looking into it, they get all instead of the gay panic, it's the white panic. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's
which doesn't exist, people.
The first Because it's a thread. The first tweet in the thread is about the one weirdo handing out the Christian flyers at a FurCon, and I think this was FWA, where the thing says, "Hi, do you have a few minutes to talk?" And you flip it over, and it's immediately just like in cursive, and it's like, "Do you believe we will enter heaven if you were to pass away today? You may know young friends or family," and all that bullshit. The like, repent your sins, be good, and it's like it's got his persona pointing to a couple of QR codes because I guess we're with the modern times. Jesus is hip with it. It's like all it takes is a few minutes to read the Bible. It does not take a few minutes to read the Bible. Start with Luke and John first. You only need to read the New Testament. Can't imagine why we wouldn't want to read the other ones, but And yeah, this
can't
whole,
imagine.
Like,
yeah, can't imagine.
Can we get a version of the Bark Meow? It's like Ruby in robes or something, and it says, "Do you have a minute to talk?" And on the back, it just says, "Join the cult of Ruby."
Oh my god! Actually, though, I want I want Broomby prayer candles.
Wait, but like, okay, that's a killer idea.
And it has a QR code on the back for our content.
Idea for a future episode. We do like furry confessions, and we're dressed like bishops and popes and stuff.
I would love that.
Oh my god!
That's so good.
Fucking the Sea Dog VA Connor did that on his stream the other day. Why didn't I think of that? That'd
be great. Yeah.
And Patreons, you know what you have to do. You have to confess your sins to us.
Gotta confess.
And basically, it'll be up to us to help you find a solution. Be it 3 Hail Marys, or you're going to burn in.
I was gonna say we just get to give them Hail Marys or burn in hell.
We may just tell you, or maybe we don't think it's a sin. Who knows? That's a great idea. Mark that shit down. Go back to that Excel sheet we have.
Oh my god,
we haven't used.
I gotta blow the dust off of that Excel sheet, dude. Okay, we got how to make friends in the furry community.
Number post 2 is great too. It starts off with Donald J. Trump.
Dude, I know. It's fucking Donald J. Trump. I want to read the first one in this, like, 4. Each of them has 4 screenshots, so we can't read them all. But, like, this one's just, like, it's libs of TikTok. Woo,
I know.
Love them so much. It's like, why are students showing up to school dressed as furries? And somebody quote tweeted it. Gunther Eagleman says, "If your child is a furry, you failed as a parent." And 7 LaCroix, which, credit where it's due, that's a good name. He's like, "Hi, furry here, voting MAGA, 2A patriot. I am the 3%, love my country. Shall I go through my resume, or can we modify this failure claim?" And it's like, you are pandering to people who fucking hate you, dude. What are you doing?
Dude, it is a furry who classically doesn't realize his quote-unquote party does not like him. It's just like the gay conservative that doesn't realize that they will eventually take out your rights too.
Yeah.
If you keep letting them succeed.
Yeah, they're not gonna care if you're on their side. I never thought the leopard would eat my face.
They care until they can shove you down beneath them.
Yeah. Diesel Raccoon's also in this thread.
Oh no! Yeah.
There's obviously Nazism, but like, I also agree, because the person said in parentheses mostly rage bait. To be fair, I kind of agree with that. Where like, people are just fucking weird on the internet, dude. And this is a furry saying this. Like,
who the fuck is this Storm Wolf? You know what also gets me, and I don't know if this is, this could be a problem. I don't know. I always notice it always seems like these goddamn patriots of America, they can't fucking spell. They can't.
No, they really can't.
I have trouble being mad about that, because I also can't.
You know what? Yeah, we got a couple of misspellers on our side too.
Well,
we're sitting with one.
Like, it's like when you're making a post that you're supposed to be passionate about. Usually, these like you write it out, you read it, you post it, and I just feel like that doesn't happen here. I don't know. I see it more classically with the MAGA group. All right. I see it a lot with the MAGA morons.
I don't know, man. I can't spell for shit. Like, even
dude,
a little bit.
I don't know, Ruby. You get it right most of the time. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's a confirmation bias, or maybe it's like no, what's the other thing? Where you just see a lot of it. My own experience bias, personal bias, where I see a lot of it from this specific group, so I don't see it everywhere else. But dude, it just seems like when any MAGA has a bad take, there's at least a couple really easily spelled words just misspelled. Which, first off, it's like, why the fuck didn't autocorrect catch that? But
Right.
Which that's autocorrect. That's an autocorrect problem, which I have beef with autocorrect myself.
I have it set to where it'll tell me if the word is misspelled, but it won't correct it for me. Because if I'm typing like purposely misspelled stuff, I don't want it to constantly correct it for me. But if I'm not trying to misspell shit,
I type
you
way
pay
too fast.
for Grammarly?
I pay for Grammarly, and I still misspell things.
This episode is not sponsored by Grammarly.
I pay for Grammarly.
This was gonna turn into this.
Bro, you gotta get a refund, man.
Why? Are they bad or something?
It's not working, obviously.
It's not working. This episode definitely not sponsored by Grammarly.
I'm so confused by this. This is the next picture of the raccoon name. It just says hashtag Trump 2024 to save America, and they have a picture of them with an I voted sticker. But there's no voting yet for that election. That's in November.
Who knows, man?
Are you like LARPing?
Knows?
Are you already LARPing that you're like, I'm voting for Trump in like November? Why now? Why now? It's months away.
It's crazy, man. I don't want to get into the whole Trump thing. Like, it's just lunacy at this point. There's no denying that they're in a cult at this point.
No, it's 1,000% a cult. You're voting for a convicted felon.
Yeah. Anyway,
who cannot possess a firearm, but can, I guess, be president.
There's more to that thread, but
it's great. It's great.
It is great. I posted screenshots, so if you want to go find the rest of the thread, you can. But yeah, today's topic is Pride related. We'll see how long we stay on topic, but today's topic is Kink at Pride. So Kink at Pride. Have you guys been to Pride parades?
Yes, but I haven't been to any of the big ones. In fact, I have been desperately trying to get to the one in Seattle because I feel like I'm close enough. Of course, the dogs start barking just right now. Like,
yeah, right.
But I have been to my local events. They're just super tiny, and I volunteer at most of them.
Oh, got it. I actually. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, and they're so tiny and so kid focused that there is no kink at my Pride events. But I don't think it's for lack of trying. I think it's because when you're hosting a carnival definitely meant for children, people just understand that's weird and they don't. And then everywhere else, there's just literally not enough gay people here for anybody to be safe in a pup match.
Oh no.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a difference between all ages events and like child-focused events.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
So have you guys been to a Pride parade?
I was actually at a Pride parade 2 days ago.
Yay! How was it?
It was good.
Yeah, how many men did you blow on the street corner?
Not enough.
Dude, I'm so sorry. We'll get him next time.
Champ. I know, man. I know.
Sorry, I was just trying to show clearly what my thought of Pride events are, since I've never been to one.
So
you never been to a Pride event?
No.
Except for a furry con, which honestly might as well be.
Yeah,
that kind of counts.
In like a gay month June Pride event. No,
yeah.
Not that I don't want to. The one, I think the local one that just happened, it's just always during like really close to my work hours or shit that's like it's too much of a hassle right now with my current work schedule. Like, sorry, I work 7 days a week. I enjoy my nights off.
Yeah, no, you're good.
So, do I want to? Yes. Part of me, honestly, though, I will say I'm not sure how much my local community knows about my stuff.
Let them know. Well, it depends on the stuff.
No.
You talking about Solace?
Well, I mean, any of it, to be honest with you. I don't trust my community here.
Oh. Is it
like your
fairly red where you live?
Your gay community?
Like, say Trump gets arrested and like this whole like crazy civil war stuff happens. There's like a non-zero chance this town becomes real fucking weird.
Uh-oh.
And I personally would be worried that maybe some people would be going knocking doors to doors. That's the kind of community that I think is fostered underneath here.
And that's It's pretty ironic because that's a big reason Pride exists. Because it's easy to like be in your little holes and then like congregate and say a bunch of racist shit and get all riled up and like you said, go door to door and individual people like isolate people. But then it's way harder to do that when you realize there's enough out there to throw parades. Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't mean to. You have to bleep that, dude. Sorry. I said it endearingly.
I know. YouTube doesn't know the difference, but I'll bleep it. It's fine.
Gary.
Dude, okay, no, we're not doing a recreation of the band thing. We're not doing that.
Damn. No, and I get that. I guess so. I'm probably a little bit probably paranoid on this, but I also it's easier for me to just not disclose that stuff than to risk it, especially with I'll be honest, like I don't know what's gonna happen in November, man. I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, I'm a little scared.
I know it's also really funny though is there's like a ton of people selling and moving out of this area, and we have gigabit internet, and like it's relatively cheap. Like you can get houses here for like under $100,000. So furries, hear me out.
Oh my god, we take over a town?
If you just start moving out here to this specific town, you're like a 3-hour drive to some major cons.
There we go.
You've got an international airport 30 minutes away.
Solace sweating, trying not to dox himself.
Yeah, but no, it's like technically we could turn this place into like a furry haven. Just slowly keep moving in like remote from like work from home people like me to here.
Yeah. You know what's better than a furry hype house? A furry hype neighborhood.
Isn't that the thing you always see though? Everybody's like, we should just make a furry community. It's like it'll never happen.
No.
It'll never.
I don't want to live with furries. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh no, Misha's one of those.
I recommend not dating a furry enough.
I'm actually fine dating a furry.
Well, see, fine is fine. Like, I'm glad that worked out. It's like, okay, dating a furry is like dating your coworker. I cannot recommend it. Like, do not do that. I'm stressed. I'm telling you, don't do that. If you happen to, and it's going well, then okay. Nobody move. It's just
pretty sure you just nullified your own advice.
What?
I think you just nullified your own advice.
What do you mean?
You're telling it, don't do it, but now you're saying, no, it's fine.
No, it's not fine. Don't do it.
It's
but
fine.
There is like, you know,
I'm fighting you. Date furries.
If you give somebody advice and they don't do it, you know, that's on them. But like,
the big thing is sorry.
I was just gonna say like, furry is a huge part of my life, and I tried dating non-furry men, and the first thing he called it a fetish, and I was like, that's not that's not furry for me.
Yeah.
But okay. Like, as a whole,
see how people get there, though. Like,
yeah, but it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Right, but you have to know it means different to other people, and that's the problem. Like, that's already like, all right, you already have a misconception here. Yeah,
it was just like, furry is a huge part of my life, so dating somebody else who furry is a big part of his life, like, it just kind of made sense.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you're on the same like wavelength of what type of furry you are, though, because there's like furry archetypes, right? You gotta make sure you both are like in a similar archetype. You know how you're playing like Magic the Gathering and you got like blue decks, green decks. You know, you gotta make sure you're the same. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop before
you can't have a freaking swamp deck and only have plain lands. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You don't. Incompatible.
An inflation furry can date a vor furry. That's all I'm saying.
Those aren't the archetypes.
No, that's fine. No, the thing that you're getting at, and I understand. So that's my thing too, Misha. It's all again. This actually honestly comes back down to what does furry mean to you? Because again, some furries literally just like the art. They don't go to conventions. They don't do anything social with them. They're just furry by that association, and they call themselves furry. That's the thing. You have to call yourself a furry. But so for me, it is too much part of my life to where, and I already tried to do this. That was my last relationship where they're like, I don't know if I really want to go to cons. Can we do this without each other? Can I go to, can I survive going to cons? The relationship didn't survive going to an anime con, let alone a furry fucking convention.
Were they not a furry?
They were.
Oh.
But they were like, I hear all these bad things about cons, and I'm just not comfortable, and I don't think I really want to do it. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Well, I'm going to, and we have to be able to work around that.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. We clearly couldn't. We couldn't even survive an anime convention.
I'm sorry.
So the thing was, well, that's the thing is it was a good test. The test completely shut everything down.
I guess, yeah.
That it obviously wasn't going to be successful. And that's the thing is like for me, I just know it's too much part of my life, especially right now, and I don't want to spend like I'm going to go to fucking Anthrocon from July 4th to like the 8th or whatever. If I am settled down with a partner, I want them to share that experience with me, even if they're non-furry. I would want them to be at least accepting enough to like want to go to those events with me to just enjoy the experience with me.
Yeah.
And if that's like, there are non-furries that can do that, but it's more typical to have a furry partner that will be successful with, you know. And that's what I do, you know.
Yeah.
And yes, is that a deal breaker? I mean, yeah. If I don't want to leave you for 4 days at home, it feels like abandonment to me, to be honest. Like I said,
I literally do that with Andy all the time.
I mean, I know, and see, that works for you, not me. You're also like thinking poly and stuff. That doesn't work for me.
I mean, I'm not in that case. Me and Andy haven't really done anything with anybody else. It's he just likes his alone time.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right. No. No. I think that's why you saying I don't think you should date furries is kind of weird. I think furries are too apt to say I won't date a non-furry though. I think in general disqualifying somebody cuts back opportunities of finding somebody really nice who would be accepting to do exactly what I said, where they're not a furry, but they would at least still go to cons with you, or they would still like, you know, enjoy that part of your life with you, just not be in it themselves. It's a totally valid thing that can happen. You just have to find that person.
Yeah, that can totally happen.
We're 30 minutes in, and we've mentioned the topic once.
Speaking of fetishes.
Speaking of, oh god damn it, no.
Speaking of fetishes, kink of pride.
What I was gonna say, like 10 minutes ago, before we got on that whole tangent, I went to Pride this past Saturday, and I went with Argo and Splat, and Argo was wearing a pup hood.
Oh.
Were you leashed up?
No, I was wearing Misha, so like I had a rainbow collar, and that was it.
Damn.
Yeah. But yeah, that was nobody said anything. Nobody cared. It was cool. It was very tame.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, like so my thoughts with like kink at Pride is like who cares?
Well, wait.
You know.
Okay. Can I butt in really quick?
What?
Well, I was gonna ask, did you experience or did you witness any sort of hate?
Yes, there are always counter protesters who like have their big "ooh, God, repent sins," blah blah blah. You know, what's really cool about my city is I don't know if it's the same in all cities, but we have what's known as the Angels, and they've got like they wear big, I think, cardboard wings that are draped in white sheets, and they stand all around the protesters so that when you're doing Pride, you can't see the protesters.
Oh.
Yeah, they surround the protesters so that you don't have to see them or even really hear them, because then a band goes around them and plays louder than they can yell.
Dude, the real heroes do wear capes.
Right, dude? Yeah.
Dude.
No, we love the Angels. It's so cool that they do that every year. Because, like, obviously, I don't let it get me down, but there is that touch of dishearteningness when you see people saying those things about you. Like, even if I don't believe them at all.
Of course. Yeah.
It just sucks that people have those opinions about people who are just trying to find love.
Well, arguably, when it comes to the day where you don't have to worry about that, is I think the day where we probably won't have Pride for that reason, you know, because then we'd just be accepted, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the goal. The goal is to get to the point where you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So
that is an interesting question. Is do you think in the future there will ever be a time where we don't host Pride? Because it's just a generally accepted thing that nobody gives a fuck about anymore.
No, I think it'll just become a holiday like Christmas.
That's I think
everybody just does it for fun.
Like it will just be like remember where we came from kind
of thing. Exactly, yeah.
Right.
That'd be interesting to think about.
Yeah.
No, and Misha, it always comes down to this because I mean, there's always going to be some anxiety, right? And I mean, I think this is anxiety for any event I go to nowadays, just in the social climate we're a part of just like people are unpredictable, and all it takes is some dumbass to get a little fucking froggy.
Yeah, well, it was like we were standing there, watching the parade, and in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, if worst case scenario happens, we can dive into this store because there's a skyline that leads to this other building. I fucking hate that I have to think those things. Just trying to enjoy myself and celebrate who I am. That sucks that I have to have that. Like, I have to have that in the back of my mind. It's not, it's not just me being anxious. That could very well fucking happen. Hate crimes happen all the time, and all it takes is one lunatic, like Solus was saying, all it takes is one lunatic with a bigger weapon and, less fucks to give to ruin something like that and take countless lives. And so the fact that I have to sit there and, like, plot out how to keep myself and my friends safe, like, that's not a good feeling at all. So,
it's just a really rough thing to think about because, and it's something that gets me. I wonder if it gets you, Ruby, since we're both a little bit older than Misha.
I'm baby.
It's the fact that like when I grew up, some school shootings happened, obviously, but it was not to the point where we had all of the like mandated trainings and stuff. We had tornado drills, but we never had the shooting drills yet. And I got out of school before that was a thing. And I keep getting humbled and reminded that that's like by the time kids nowadays start school and get out of school, like they've had more like school shooting drills than like a police officer has to train to be a police officer.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck? How Jesus Christ. Why is this a thing? But that's the point. That's like the thing we live in. School should be like one of the safest places in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And you still have to have that thought. It's
yeah.
Like, God.
Like, even sitting in my university's library doing homework, I'm like, okay, where's my nearest exit? Just in case. I do want to say that I also graduated high school before they really put in shooter drills. No, it's okay. I think the worst drills I had to do was like intruder on campus. Not necessarily a shooter, but like unknown person on campus. And we did actually have a serious one in elementary school because I guess like some drunk guy stumbled onto campus, but he was escorted off.
He was showing the fucking get out of here.
Yeah, it was drunk guy on an elementary school. They were like, "Hey, students, stay where you are."
That is a really good way to incredibly ruin your life.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't mean to do anything, doing something even marginally stupid gets you like felonies, man. Bork, bork.
It does, yeah.
I have to speak with my people. Bork, bork, bork.
Oh, I can just hit mute when they're barking.
That was funny.
But yeah, I think Kink at Pride is fine. There were other pups, like, there were people not wearing shirts.
Well,
people were. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so that's the thing that comes down to it is, do you consider puphood kink gear?
I do not.
I don't. But I'm saying in the frame of like, if people see pup hoods at Pride, they usually think of kink gear.
So there's an interesting thing to think about, right? Is like, because even some harnesses, I know there's a ton of furries that wear harnesses that are like absolutely, they don't use them for kink. They like the aesthetic, they like the look. And I do think, especially with like certain fursuits, it's like a great accessory.
Yeah.
But typically harnesses and outside of that are.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
you can typically tell which ones are a little bit more used for kink or not. Some they wear them for both, but
yeah.
So that's a whole.
I think it's really hard to tell because even if you do like it for just its aesthetic, like who's to say a beautiful dress that's extremely like complimentary on a woman, who's to say if that's kinky or not?
Because a dress is typically worn as just clothing, whereas a harness is not clothing; it's an accessory.
Well, yeah, like you can have accessories on things like that too, and then like, ooh, what if it's kinky or not?
What do you mean? An accessory on a harness?
Like,
if you wear just a harness, you're not clothed.
Well, like I think if you're wearing, I think it's complicated because there's kinks and then there's also flags. Like if I'm wearing a t-shirt with a harness over it, I am flagging other people that I have and wear a harness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think like. Okay, so I think if you're wearing just a pup hood and clothes, obviously, like, that's not necessarily kinkier. I think it's when you start combining them. Like, you get X amount of points before it's like, okay, you're dressing for a kink event, you know? Like, if you're wearing a pup hood and a harness and a collar and maybe, like, leather pants or, like, latex pants, like, okay, you're really racking up the bill here, man. But, like...
Question for the group. How do we feel about wearing jock straps at Pride?
Just the jock strap?
Maybe, like... and a hat, maybe a harness.
The jockstrap and a cowboy hat is officially what we're going for with this question.
I'm trying to. I think this is like how much of the question is like how much of a prude are you?
I think at that point, I think that would that be considered indecent exposure?
Well, see, this is a thing.
No, I don't think so.
Your ass is out.
There's an interesting thing. I don't know enough about that law to make a comment. So, well, this is exactly what I was going to ask. So, I'm a free the nipple person, where it's I see guys walking around with shirtless all the time. I think AFAB women. I think anybody should be able to walk around shirtless if you're going to allow anyone. Like, if anybody can, all should. If not, then everybody in public should have to wear a shirt.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It's either one way or another. And obviously it's because AFAB women, I don't know how to say it, but it's been sexualized in our society. Yeah, people with tits.
Yeah.
Boobs. But see, that's the thing is, though, if they were, quote unquote, seen as a man, even if it was a larger man with boobs, they're not going to say put a shirt on.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up. I'm trying not to say the wrong thing here because I don't want to be stupid. But y'all understand what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
And it's because our society has, in the last for many years,
basically forever, yeah.
Sexualizes one type of tits than the other. Yes, the boobs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I'm special, like I'm the whole demi thing where I don't care. You could be completely naked in front of me and I don't care. At one point is that, like, when it comes to pride and kink and stuff, like, does it matter? Like, should we as a society start embracing the more, desexualizing of body parts? Stop being like, oh, if you look at these, you're supposed to get turned on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's, like... I think when it comes to, like, works. The parts used for the sex, maybe a little less, but, like, boobs aren't, necessarily used for, but, like, and when it comes to what's down there, man, woman, whatever you may be, if down there is exposed, the bits, if the bits are exposed, no matter what gender, no matter what sexuality, like, no matter what sex you are, like, you're gonna get in trouble. If you're walking around with that.
Well, my conversation is, should you get in trouble for that? Because theoretically, if you are respectful and you're not gonna just do a terrible thing, seeing somebody naked should do nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't
understand.
Know, yeah.
I understand the argument. But that's the concept of, I think, kink at Pride just comes down to the point of what people think is inappropriate or not, right? It's of like what should be shown in public in general, right?
Yeah.
And
I think a huge part of kink at Pride is desexualizing bodies and just like appreciating them for what they are, but also embracing sexuality. Pride is about sexuality.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the thing is, like, straight up homophobia experience about my dad. Dad saw two gay guys kiss in public and physically retched.
Oh my god.
That's how bad his homophobia is. And he says, that's not natural, that's awful, that's gross. And it's like, dude, why do you fucking care?
Yeah, that doesn't affect him.
You're not going to see those people again. If you do, it's like 5 minutes from now when you somehow walk down the same store aisle or something.
I mean, that is the greater argument. It's kind of what I use that argument about, like, Twitter warriors sometimes when somebody was trying to tell me how it's just not appropriate to quote unquote do that thing in front of kids. And I was like, I think your heart's in the right place. But one, for the kids, arguments are never good and they're often rooted in the patriarchy. But two, I think you have to learn, like, why that sentiment upsets you, and like rechannel your frustration and your anger. Like you said, your dad's feelings are valid. He was upset about two guys kissing, but why? Like, you have to get to the root of the problem. Why is he upset about that? Is it because two guys kissed, or is it an overarching systemic issue?
I think it's a mix of both. Well, I mean,
no, like it's because of his upbringing. It's because of the way he's been told. It could be because of his own like repressed sexuality. It could be like as simple as like people don't like when two guys hug, even platonically, because you're not allowed to do that because you're supposed to be a manly man, and you feel weird about it because you have this repressed isolation. It can be like it's a whole big broader issue. It's never just, of course, the dogs again.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
Got the dogs barking. They want to chime in. And then they don't speak. Damn.
Yeah.
I
just hit mute so it wouldn't.
Oh, no. Okay.
No, and that's the thing. I do understand that. Like, well, obviously it's a problem that he has those things. You're right. But what's the root of the problem, and how do you fix that? I will say, I think the platonic bro love is getting better. I have
Oh yeah, it's getting way better. It's still not fixed, but it's getting better.
Right. It's weird to say this, but like, I don't know, there's a customer at my gas station that I've known for, like, I've known him and his family since, like, I've been working at this gas station off and on for like 9-10 years now.
Yeah.
So I've known him forever. And he's just like, he'll come in and he'll hang out, and then just like sometimes randomly be like, yo, you want a hug? I'm like, sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I just, and this is a younger guy now. He's in his 20s. I'm like, fuck yeah. In this small rural community, you're okay with hugging a guy? Damn. Like, we're getting somewhere.
Right.
We're getting a little bit more open to like, oh, hugging is like not a big thing. Like, it shouldn't fucking be a big thing.
Right. Yeah. Right.
No, if you ask me,
like, it's okay. And that comes with everything. It's okay to ask for a hug. It's okay to say no to a hug. It like all of that is it takes a lot of like, everybody's got to be a little more sensitive and a little less. I don't want to say immature. There's a word for what I'm looking for. I used to say it all the time. Also, when you search kink at Pride, because I was looking for some other examples, it's all puppets.
Yeah, see, that's the general consensus is
what's fucking great is like, pup hoods are not just furry.
No, they're really not.
Hey, furries are so fucking weird about pup hoods, and I don't understand. My first time I ever saw a pup hood was like, I was skiing, and somebody said the little pup mask, like,
right, yep,
buttons on and off, and I was like, that's genius. Well, that's so cool. I want one for skiing. How cute.
Surely this isn't used for anything else.
Surely this isn't innocent and not used for anything else. Looking back, the dude next to him was totally a bear too. Jesus Christ.
That's funny.
Some counter arguments. That brings up a good point, though. Some counter arguments to kink at Pride are consent. If you don't consent to seeing people like that, are they still allowed to dress that way?
Well, so that's a very interesting conversation to have. At what point? Because that's the thing is, some people say, well, I don't think the argument is like, so very religious argument. I believe in so and so, and I don't believe gay marriage should be a thing. By you allowing gay marriage to be a thing, you're taking away from me, or like you're harming my beliefs, right? But I think that's when the conversation comes down to, when are you, the harmed party is who you're taking away from, right?
Yeah.
And if you were to take away gay marriage from that couple, I think that's more than infringing on the beliefs of somebody else, correct?
Yeah, it's
It kind of transitions into that, because that, as you were talking about, like, oh, the kids argument, that's like the number one thing they say about kink at Pride, is they say about like the lack of clothing or the overtly sexual outfits and stuff. My kids are gonna see that, and that's not fair to me. But in our country, our God-fearing, amazing American country, we have the right to expression, and that comes with freedom of speech. Also protects how you express yourself through clothing as well.
Yeah,
it's an expression thing, but there is a line that is drawn too, of course.
So where's the line?
Right. So that's when it comes back to the prude scale of our society. Should we allow all nipples out? Or
only
not?
one? You're only allowed one nipple.
Which is why, like,
everybody only gets one nipple.
Women can reveal one nipple, but men have to put one nipple away. I've solved it. I've created equality.
Honestly, Misha, we should just end the episode there. That was
one nipple. But you understand what I'm saying, though. So, like, I don't remember what the actual legality is, but, you know, you've seen places where all they have to do is cover the nipple, but you don't have to have a bra or covering. It's just pasties, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's a legal thing, right? So it's just the nipple that's sexualized. So it's interesting. And again, there's going to be differing degrees of what people find acceptable, which is why kink is under criticism. Of like, well, okay, they've got the nipples covered, so I'm okay with that. But then there's other people who are like, if they're not wearing a shirt, they're naked, and that's, you know, I disagree. Where's the line? What's acceptable?
Yeah, I just like, you know, fucking, if you're going to an event and saying that I don't consent to seeing people in like pup hoods or like in kink gear, that's on you. Walk somewhere else, you know.
Well, like, again, it comes to like the I'm driving down. I'm leaving work, and the Pride event's happening today, and now I have to stop and see this. Well, I didn't consent to that.
I don't care. Look the other way.
Well, I mean, I'm
take
with
a
you on
different route.
That,
yeah.
But the reason why we're doing this is we're kind of being devil advocate, Katie, right now. You know.
Yeah.
It's because if you just immediately say, "Oh, I fuck your feelings," that's just gonna create that resentment that's keeping the divide. It's so weird because you just got to get them to understand that they shouldn't care about it. You got to like work on it. It's like therapy session. Go.
Yeah.
Why do you care about this? Why is this an issue?
That was the biggest thing. Yeah, because Ruby was talking about the root of the problem. Why do you care about this? Which, frankly, is not my problem. Like, if you're gonna give me shit, I'm not going to try and solve your problems about me.
See, that's the thing, though, is it becomes the problem because obviously people are trying to shut down kink legally. Or kink at Pride in general. So that's why it gets to be an issue. Obviously, everybody is going to have an opinion. Even if, no matter what, like, it gets codified into the goddamn Constitution to where kink is allowed in public. And nobody, you know, it is self-expression. It's labeled as self-expression. The Supreme Court rules on it, and nobody is going to be able to take like legal offense against it. There's still going to be people that are going to be like, I don't like this, and I don't think it's fair. The point of it being is like, again, we're in a time where it's still being fought legally.
Yeah,
and people's, you know, like I said, there's always going to be somebody that's not going to like something. It's just, is it valid, and is it a thing that, you know, the majority of society also thinks it's inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
Which, again, society is always evolving. So something that was, again, 100 years ago acceptable, wink, wink, if you know what we're talking about, 100 years later, we look back and go, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I really do envision a future where grandma and grandpa, us, like me and Andy, are sitting around the table and like to our grandkids or great grandkids, we're like, you know, we used to eat cows, and they're like, oh, grandma, you can't fucking say that. I'm like, no, and like everybody was cool with it, and like.
You know, I fucking believe, you know what, Ruby? Because I've been trying to think about this too, because what is the biggest cutoff between, like, and as bad as it is, it's one generation cutoff from my parents' generation to us. There's such a massive, it almost feels like lack of empathy.
It's the lead paint.
The asbestos.
Yeah.
That's totally what it is.
No,
yeah.
But and also, and the same thing is, and I think a lot of it deals with the technological age. In the last 100 years, we've gone from literally like you having to be in person to talk to people or send a mail to I can call people. Like right now, we are in 3 different states across all of America having a podcast,
having a very instant conversation.
Like, exactly.
Yeah.
Within almost literally instant. It's insane.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the major changes is the access to information is people's being able to see the other side of things. It's a giving. Beforehand, you were lucky to marry somebody within like your local communities, the town over kind of shit. You know what I mean? Because that's what your dating pool was. Because it wasn't really incentivized for you to try and go on long cross-country like moves, because you're going to move to somewhere you've never been with no job and no family, because most families are built within those communities.
Yeah.
As obviously transportation advanced and you could go farther and do bigger things, and then the more technology came out, we've been able to spread out. On that same note, because you were in those incredibly small communities, it's really hard for you to put another person's shoes on and live as them, because you don't have that insight. You just know what affects you in your daily life. And with the advance of technology, a really big thing right now is how like the government and media is trying to spin the whole fucking Israel and Gaza shit.
Oh god,
Dude,
yeah.
that shit is wild.
Sorry, we have direct accounts showing us what's fucking happening. You can't fucking Biden going up there and saying it's not a genocide. Go fuck yourself, dude.
Unfortunately,
we see the women and children that are getting caught up in this bullshit.
Yeah,
all right.
Us, the younger generation, sees that, but unfortunately, the older generation just sees Biden saying it's not a genocide, and then they believe it, and they're just like, "Oh, okay, well, that's what I saw on the news." I genuinely don't think the news is very reliable anymore. I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat real quick, just like,
nah.
I don't care who
I
you watch. They're spinning
I watch
a narrative.
some more news.
What happens now? The news used to be journalism. It used to be unbiased journalism, the unbiased reporting of facts and what is happening.
All right, I'm going to counter that with
speculation.
I don't think so. I think that's a romanticized version, and it's a what-ifism. I think it's...
Well, I was going to say, I think
journalism is supposed to be...
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but...
That's what it's supposed to be, but I don't think it ever was.
I was going to say, I think it was less... Like, it's definitely ramped up in the past, like, 10 years.
I think it was not so hateful before.
That's sensationalism is what sells. That's why.
Yeah. But I don't think it was less hateful before, but people realized that hate clicking gets more clicks. And I mean that, like, also, like, buying newspapers.
Yeah.
But like, journalists, some of them have integrity, some of them don't. And that's always been a thing.
Pip, I need Pip to back me up on this. No, the biggest thing to kind of give an example, I believe when Abe Lincoln ran for president, your news, the only way you got news is if they showed up and campaigned in your city or your town. And then if they didn't show up in your town, you got the newspaper the next day or the day after reporting on it, right? And if I was correct, in the North, Abe went really hard on like the slave issues and a lot of things like that. But in the South, that was almost non-existent in his campaigning for presidency. And the only way you would find out is if on paper from the North made it to the South. So they absolutely back in the day used the news and all of that to depict what they wanted their
right. That just sounds like propaganda.
That was the thing, though, is how would you know any different?
Right. Now we have now I can literally text somebody in Gaza.
And that's the point, is typically your propaganda comes from news stations, but if you go on TikTok or you go on a live stream, like what used to be Periscope and stuff, you would see people on the scene just recording what's happening.
Yeah.
And that's the completely unedited, unbiased facts right then and there.
And they're also using that against us too. They have people, they hire actors. They have people, like, again, a little tinfoil hat for you, but especially when it comes to this Israel and Palestine thing, we've found people who have lied about the Gaza situation, acting like they're just citizens.
Well, yeah,
it's not so bad, and then like, I thought
Ruby was gonna go Alex Jones on us for a second.
There's a video where this person picks up an iPad in like a broken home, and the fucking background of the iPad is like Hitler or something, and it's like this pristine, clean iPad in a broken ass home just happens to have Hitler as the background. It's like, dude, come on. And people fucking believe this. They believe that wasn't planted. It's crazy.
There's a lot of debunking going around, and it's luckily it's still pretty easy to debunk. But my point with that is with AI and
oh god, AI is scary.
Exactly, so many tools that are disposable. Scary. It's already so hard to find out truths. It's gonna get harder.
We've already seen it with our elections. It's happened on both Trump and Biden's side, where people were using AI generated voices to put out some false things
Yeah.
They made it sound like the ex-president and our current president had said some things, and obviously, confirmation bias. It was Biden saying something really derogatory, and it reached conservative people, and they're like, "Look what Biden's saying. This is fucked up." And it's like, "Oh, by the way, that was AI generated, and he didn't say it." But if they didn't catch that memo and found out it was AI, guess what they're going around saying to everybody?
I still think they wouldn't care if it was AI generated.
Sometimes they don't. As long as again, confirmation bias, it makes them feel good about what they actually believe. Back to what my ADHD brain was talking about. So, talking about that split generationally about like, is it a lack of empathy, or is it like this massive access to knowledge we have? I was wondering because I don't see myself ever being like my grandparents or my parents or like the generation that seems to be so reluctant to change, so reluctant to realize things were just fucked up back then. Yes, it was acceptable back then, but realizing and acknowledging that yes, we did bad things back then. They were bad, but they were only accepted at a time, and we need to grow from that is key.
I think
And
acknowledging
Ruby, you
that
saying that
with the cow thing,
the cow thing, that might fucking be it. There's a very high chance that our
yeah,
society
totally,
does
man.
push,
That's my dream.
especially for like our what do you call it? Our people, our society, human race to survive. We kind of are gonna need to be going towards more plant-based stuff again.
I think the science is gonna get so good that we're just gonna be able to grow steaks, and it's gonna be almost.
They've actually done that.
We are
That's what I'm
lab
saying.
growing meat, yeah.
I think it's gonna get so good that our kids are like we're gonna all be having steaks, and I'm gonna be like, dude, we used to eat the real thing, and our great grandkids are gonna be like, that's fucking disgusting.
You're a horrible person, dude. Wagyu's gonna be so cheap. Wagyu's
and then we're gonna be like, yeah, dude, and everybody was cool with it.
Everybody just rolled with it.
Well, not everybody, but
no, like, well, see, and that's another point to make. Like, you were like, I think the older generations are less empathetic. I also don't think that's fair. One, I think recognizing that every single person is susceptible to propaganda and to bias and societal bias is a part of learning, including you. All of us grew up in racism. All of us grew up with our own biases.
Yep.
Knowing that is half the battle to like get past that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there were people in our older generations that literally fought for our rights, and those are the people we have to thank for like pride. Mm-hmm. And those people had a shit ton of empathy.
True. I think it's a weird thing because, and this comes up with a religious argument. Do you need a book to tell you what's right or wrong, or should you have a natural sense of like what being a good person is, right? Morality.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to say. I don't think there's any way to know. I've heard this before where some people are like, oh, I just like, I know what's right and wrong. I don't think that's fair. I think I know what's right for like me, a general person living in a privileged, like a generally privileged area and in the world and stuff. But who am I to say what's right for somebody halfway across the world? I don't think that's totally fair. And like, I don't think there's this innate what is right and what's wrong inside of us, but I do think we decide as a group of people what is right and wrong.
I think it's both of those things actually, because I think innately it's not good to kill somebody else, but as you said, in a privileged country like America,
we talk politics every week, Andy.
I didn't know that. But we think
it's right, Andy. Of course, we're talking about politics.
We are way off topic once again.
Oh, it's great.
Well, I actually have to go now.
What the hell do I name this episode?
Eat the rich.
Andy, we're all about eating the rich.
Yeah. We all agree.
Everybody eat.
There's no such thing as
Andy.
Yeah, let's go dogs.
All right, let me pull up the Patreon list.
We can go through this. We can go through that. There's a lot. I could talk philosophy forever.
Oh, me too.
It's great.
All right,
Andy, we talk about the furry news and politics.
Well, I mean, we definitely were getting off track towards the end here, but I think it does. A lot of it relates to the base problem of what kink at pride means. That was the point of it.
Yeah.
We just heavily expounded.
Like I said, I think we wanted to talk about something else, but we didn't. Maybe we'll address it more in the afterbark. Pip, your homework is to find out about Abraham Lincoln's campaigning.
My big point with Kink at Pride is there's never very much Kink at Pride. It's very corporate whitewashed. Like Fucking
Yeah. very true.
everybody bitching about Kink at Pride, I can guarantee half of them haven't been to Pride and have only heard about it via the
That's
internet.
actually
And they're
so
like, oh
valid.
my god, there's so much
Dude.
Kink, and you get there and there's maybe one guy in a pup hood. And like, fuck it, the Pride Parade I went to, like, there were maybe 5 or 6 pups, and they were all fully dressed, maybe not wearing a shirt. Like, there wasn't anybody just like walking around with a fucking rattle in a diaper. Like, that shit just doesn't happen. And if it does, it's one person, and you know, it's very over exaggerated when
I
you
think the
show up
people
to Pride
saying
and the
Kink at
worst thing
Pride
there is
also
a rainbow
think,
bank
like-
of America. Okay, what?
I think the people saying kink at Pride are also like drag is kink.
I was just gonna say the same
Yeah.
thing. Well, I was gonna say the thing like along Misha's point is like it's the same people that think like, oh, the drag shows, you know, they like kids and stuff. It's no. You haven't been there. Clearly, you haven't been there. It's you just picking up on bullshit and not confirming truths.
You go there expecting Folsom, and you get there, and it's fucking rainbow Amazon logos everywhere. Fucking Walmart display. People using it to run for Congress. Like, dude, what the fuck?
Imagine somebody has all of the negative preconceptions that furry is, and tries to go to a convention acting like that.
Right.
He just rolls up immediately in like the most skimped out like kink gear.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to
All
do
right.
drugs.
Here's the Patreon. Thank you to Emburion, Naz, Zombie Brains, P, Loriafia, Simply Lego, Landon Yeen, Sycamore, Bowie Barks, Heartless Hero, Pip the Badger, Rays, Fio Firefox, Coraline R, Kai Quint, Carnelian, and Steam Pony, and Ankara. Sorry this episode ended up all over the place.
Dude, it's just another bark.
It's just right. It's just
I think
another
the
episode.
people come for the topics and then stay for the crazy discussions
knows
we end
what.
up getting into.
All right, we gotta let Ruby go. I got some
Ruby,
food
what
that
do
I
we
gotta
have for
eat.
dinner?
We're going to China Wall, one of my favorite restaurants.
Ooh,
What
that
are you
sounds
getting?
good.
Oh, the soup. I have a very specific order. I order wonton soup, but no crispy wontons, and I get crispy wontons on the side, and I get extra red sauce.
Do you get them on the side so that you can put them in your pocket later?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, that's my after night snack. This is my midnight snack.
You're coming home with me.
All right. And on that bombshell, have a good night, everybody. If you're listening to this
Bye.
live, stay tuned for the After
Oh,
Bark
yeah.
right afterwards. If not, we premiere these 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Afterwards, we do a live stream. Yeah. Bye,
What are we gonna
everybody.
do for our next?
5 minutes ago.
What the fuck are we supposed to do
You
with our
clicked that
next episode?
5 minutes ago?
Like the Ching. That was so long ago. It
Oh my
just
God.
went through.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.